Good morning, whoever that was that just came in. If anybody's watching this back after the fact, you guys are going to get the silent version for probably a good while. I don't know if anybody's awake or watching or on YouTube or what have you, because it's kind of early. It's 10 o'clock, but it's a Sunday morning, so most people are probably still at church. But we're going to do this one just like last night. I'm going to hunt everything and then scope afterwards. And I'm really only hunting for obvious things, including privies, but I'm going to try to do at least 2 boxes this morning. We'll see how that goes. This one's going pretty fast. I'm not seeing a lot to look for on this one. Welcome, welcome. I don't know who that was that just popped in, but thank you for stopping by and hanging out. Alright, maybe get a few people in here. There's somebody. So, welcome in. Thank you for stopping by. There we go. Got a couple of you trickling in. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing all right. Who we got in here this morning? Hey, good morning, Mo. Good morning, Ron. Check for the eye on that one. Nope. I think this first box had only has 49 rolls in it. I had one that had fallen out of a box, and I wasn't sure which one it was. I'm pretty sure it's this one. I'd already hunted that one because it was in the trunk of the car, so just went ahead and got it out of the way instead of trying to figure out where it went. But there was nothing in it anyway, so nothing worth worrying about. I think this morning's hunt is going to go pretty fast. We're going to do, I'm going to try to do at least 2 boxes and see what the time is when I get through those. Same as last night, not scoping anything until afterwards, just because most of those are just going to end up in the shorts anyway, and you'll see them. But yeah, just hunting for the obvious things again. So far, we have not been skunked in any of the boxes. We've gotten either a West Point or silver or a proof or something. So, doing pretty good on that front, actually. Stop after these next 3 rolls here and let the dog back in the house. She's probably needs to come in and cool off a little bit. Up till 2 last night hunting nickels. Why are you up so early then, Mo? Man. Goodness gracious. I think I went to bed around 11 something. About 11:30 maybe. Wasn't long after I got off the stream. I just kind of put everything up and then said I'll get it in the morning, and that was that. Yeah. Get insomnia. Well, you know, I have fallen asleep coin roll hunting far more times than I care to admit. So it can be kind of therapeutic in that sense, where it will knock you out and you just get focused on something and you just kind of drift off. But I don't recommend it because I always wake up and my neck hurts. All right, let me get these 2 and then I will get the dog in. You'll have to excuse me for a minute. Yeah, she's ready. All right. Let me go get her and I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. But she was ready to come up and wanted me to come get her. So and now the dogs have decided it's playtime. So everybody gets a little background noise now. Had somebody else sneak in while I was out. Who we got in here right now? Kurt. All right, awesome. So what these are are not how I normally hunt my edited videos. So those I scope pretty much every American women's quarter, at least the obverse. But what I've got right now is I've got 65s, 70s, and 76s, 76 numbers. So these are potential DDOs and or DDRs. Then I'll do 66, 71, or 68 Denver, and then 71s and 71 Denvers. So DDRs. And then I have America the Beautiful coins that I'll scope for DDRs. These are America the Beautiful DDO dates, American Women Quarter DDOs, and then DDRs. But I'm only hunting for the major ones right now. Normally, like I said, I scope a lot more when I'm doing just a regular hunt, a non-live stream. I hunt a lot more, and I pick out a lot of things that are probably on the more minor side that most people don't care about, but I do because I figured I'm putting the time in. I better find something, right? So that's what these stacks are currently. They're just stuff that I will be scoping, but I'm not going to be scoping them on camera because it's very boring for you guys and you don't get a lot out of it. And I scope pretty fast because I know what I'm looking for on those dates. So most are, but not all. So these are all circulated. So there's a little bit of, or a few Denvers mixed in here. Like I said, you get the 70 Denvers and the 71 Denver, and then the bicentennial Denvers. Those all go in the stacks as well. But for right now, pretty much what I'm hunting for is just the obvious stuff. So like there's a 66. It's beat up, it's ugly, but there's a very nice Cherry Pickers DDR on that one. So it goes in that pile. But yeah, I'm hunting for kind of the obvious stuff. So the privies, the West Points, NIFCs, silver, naked eye visible varieties. So in the first one of these we did, I found a Patsy Takamoto mink doubled eye because you can see it without a microscope. And like for the Kalasah, there's an extra diamond that you can see. But that is not one of them. So basically, if you have to look at it under a microscope to see it, I'm not going to bother you guys with it. It's another 66. At least right now. Like I said, if you watch one of my edited normal quarter hunts, then yeah, you'll probably see that kind of stuff. And like I said earlier, the dogs are decided it's playtime, so. There's I will be scoping the Mayflower compacts because there is a DDR recognized on those. bit more room. Dang it. All right. Appreciate you guys getting up and hopping on here. This is much surprisingly better turnout than I was anticipating for this early on a Sunday. Yeah, okay. So, again, welcome everyone. All right. Who all we got in the chat right now? Guess must feel like you're going to be guilty by association. Every time I ask that, everybody drops out. Oh. Again, please forgive the dogs in the background. They're excited and wound up this morning. If they get too wound up, I'll put them up. I don't know, Kurt. My dogs tend to drool too, so you know. Yesterday was kind of a rough day for them. All right. See, I'm getting somewhat faster at this. I think the first time I did a live, it took about 2 hours to get through a box, and because I was trying to figure out what I did and didn't want to hunt, and we're already to roll 15, 20 minutes in, so I'm getting faster. I apologize if I'm being too quiet here and not really responding to anybody, but I've been a little bit focused on the rolls, and sometimes I'm forgetting to read the chat. So if you say something and I don't see it, sorry. I'm trying. Nice Jovita Idar. May Sunflower compact. But all right. $65. So have any of you guys found any of the privy quarters yet? Because I have not, and I've only seen a handful of the design in circulated rolls. Like last night, in the entire box, we had 2 enders and only 4 coins were that design, the Declaration of Independence design. So I have obviously not found one yet, but I did pick up a couple actually. So. And I guess the bigger question is if you know, whether you have or haven't, what do you think the mint is going to do the rest of the year? Do you think they're done? Do you think they're going to come up with something else? Or do you think that was it? That was the big hoorah, was the July the 4th privies? Denver mint. So I haven't heard of anybody really finding anything in the Denver minted coins, which is not a great look for the mints. But again, I think that's pretty apparent at this point, right? The mint isn't going to come out of that smelling like a rose, but I appreciate them at least trying something. So. Sometimes all you can ask for is a chance. And we'll see. So I apologize if you guys heard it last night, but on the 89 Denver, the FS 501 RPM is markedly lower than a regular quarter. I think it's like the lowest position of any of them. So you can kind of just look and see where the mint mark is and tell if you're going to have it or not, or tell if you have a chance of having it or not. Which helps speed up things a little bit. I don't think it is supposed to be only Phillies, Kurt. I'm saying I haven't heard of them being found in the rolls yet. There's still a lot of people in a lot of places who haven't seen any of the new designs and probably won't for months, maybe even. In that case, I mean, you know, it may be months. So if they did them in Philly, and if they minted all 250,000 at Philly, and then they sent them out to Denver, and then they had to send those to the distributors, then it could be, you know, a month before the first ones ever reach anybody. Which is not to say that there won't be anything in there. There may not, but who knows? So he had a whatnot last night, and I didn't intend to buy anything from Rob last night because I already had the one, and they were going for around 250, and I bought one of the nicer ones because you can see the coin you're bidding on and whatnot. So I ended up buying a little bit nicer one last night for 250, which certainly helps because it brings the average down, right? But that was, I mean, you got to think though, that's still a lot of money. And it sounds like everything he found in the second box was sold in a bulk deal to a dealer, which I'm not sure which dealer. I have some theories, but I don't know for certain. We're getting there, guys. We're already on roll 20, so certainly doing better than I used to. I think the most surprising thing about these boxes that I've hunted so far isn't that I haven't found a privy, it's that I actually found a silver quarter in a bank wrap roll, which just, like I said, like I've said before, it's probably been 3 or 4 years since I found a silver in a bank wrap roll. It just doesn't happen around here. But you watch some guys and they'll have a box and they'll have like 3 of them or 4 of them in it, and not me, man. But I do pretty well on $half silver, so I'm not complaining. Don't take that as me crying, oh woe is me. All right. So far this year, man, like I said, I don't know that I've pulled 5 from a bank wrap roll since I've had this channel, and that's the honest truth of it. It's just crazy. But that's all right. I did get a little teller score earlier in the year where I got some SLQs even mixed in with it. So again, I'm not complaining. I'm done all right. I don't find them in bank wrap rolls. Got the fines from all the other hunts flipped up so far. So if that enamel piece was kind of interesting from last night. Never found one quite like that. And the reverse really did actually look very attractive. The obverse just looked very plain because they didn't do any highlighting of anything, which seems kind of strange, but it's okay. Another Mayflower compact. This is 66. Illinois to check against the album. I would check that Massachusetts, but it's got a wheel mark on the obverse. So, and again, sorry if I'm boring you guys, but I appreciate you hanging out. Let me do this. There we go. Somebody say something in the chat real quick, because last times I've put it on all chat, it seems to be a problem with my phone for whatever reason, and I ended up having to back out and come back in. So somebody just type test in the chat or something real quick for me, please. Or did I already screw it up? Well, that's not good. Cancel that. Here, let's do this. Let's come back. Now I could read it just a second ago, so let's see. Try that again, please. Somebody type test for me and see if it's fixed now. Come on. There we go. Yay, it's working. All right, thank you, Mo. I don't remember if I hunted that handful or not. Okay, sorry about that, guys. It seems to happen every time I go from top chat to live chat, because I didn't think I was seeing everything, and I wasn't. But it's just like it locks up on the stream, and I lose all chat. So I have to back out and then come back in. Very strange, very strange. All right, let me let Charlie back out. Sorry about that. But we are at least at the halfway point of the box, so got that going for us. Yep. Dang it. All right. All right. Did I lose chat again? Looking like it. All right, let me do this real quick. Oh, cancel. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. Mo, would you type something in the chat? There we go. Thank you, Kurt. Got it. I don't know why it's doing that. It does not make sense. I'm having to hide the chat and go back in and close it, or back out of the stream and come back in, but no. Seems to be working for a minute. All right. So nobody's found any privies yet, right? Well, I think it's probably, more than likely, Mo, it's probably user error. I don't stream enough to know all the tricks and ins and outs. And know what I'm doing wrong, more importantly. You guys hunting this morning, or are you just hanging out and watching, or what are we doing? Philly. I've streamed some in the past, but I've always had I had better luck getting the chat on my laptop to pull up, but I'm just not. I don't have enough internet right now to be able to pull that off at my house, so I'm just streaming off of my phone and hoping it works and going from there. Nickels, okay. I really don't do enough nickels. I should. I know that. I know they're cheaper and you can still find some good stuff in them, but I just don't hunt them like I should. Can't tell if that's an extra diamond on that one or not. I don't think so. I will remind everybody once again, I do have a PCGS unboxing that'll probably be coming, I'll say no later than Wednesday. Actually, no, it may be a little bit later than that. My box is supposed to get back Monday, and I'll probably do the video and then ship the coins out, because the first 8 or so, I guess, are for Midwest coin hunting, and I figured I'd let him get them in hand and then go through and post the video, so that way he can see them first in hand first before I kind of ruined the surprise for him. Come on. Got 2 proof nickels last night. Nice. Six. Sloppy Stacks. What's going on? Working. Man. I appreciate the comment on the video earlier today. So, and I apologize for today's short being delayed. Apparently I had forgotten, or I thought I had my phone plugged in and the connection was a little weak, and my phone died while it was supposed to be uploading, so it didn't upload until this morning. But, you know, nobody's gonna fuss at me except for you guys, right? Tell me if I'm too late. Thank you. Appreciate the luck. And you certainly, nobody should feel like they have to watch anything, right? Like, it's there. It's not going anywhere. So if you want to watch, I do have a playlist for them, for the variety of the days, so you can always find them there. But that series was as much for me to force me to attribute some of the varieties that I did have as anything else, right? So I don't know if you guys are like me or not, but I typically have I'll have like a jar of stuff that I've pulled out and I was too lazy to attribute right then. And then that just accumulates and it becomes overwhelming. So I was like, okay, let's make it into a series. Then I have to do it every day and I have to consistently pull them out and attribute them and figure out what I got. And then if I got too many of something, it helps me know what I can or can't afford to get rid of. So. If I can get these down to about an hour a box, that would be great. But I don't think it's going to happen this time. You know, for all my criticisms on the American women's quarters, some of the reverses are actually really nice. I still don't like the obverse. I don't think that's ever going to change. But some of the reverse designs are actually really cool. The Maya Angelou's really nice. The Bessie Coleman, the Dr. Sally Ride's really nice. Celia Cruz is actually that's a really fun design, right? So yeah, it's it's not all of the American women's quarters that I dislike. It is the obverse though. We got away with not having to have that obverse for so long, and then we had to go wrong the right. Yeah, the Sally Ride one I think is probably up there. That and I think the Bessie Coleman might be my favorite. Oh. It'd help if I was hunting on camera. My bad. And then you got some of them like the Eleanor Roosevelt. That one's ugh. That one and the Juliet Gordon Lowe, which is the Mrs. Doubtfire quarter. That one, Mrs. Doubtfire, Leprechaun, you name it. I mean, I'm sorry to be mean, but that is not an attractive coin design. So, thank you all for stopping in this morning. I know you got infinitely many other things you could be watching right now, so I do appreciate you hanging out, spending the time here. I appreciate you watching anything on my channel. I need to say that more often, but I really do. You know, you guys are always super positive, and I do appreciate it. I can live with the Jovita Idar. That one's not the worst to me. I think it's kind of interesting. I think it would be a beautiful metal, but it doesn't make for a good coin. As a metal, like if you put that in silver or you made that into a silver proof, that would be gorgeous. But as far as as a circulating coin, no, I don't think it really hit where it was supposed to. But you know, they took a shot and they came up short, which is better than not taking a chance at all. And just here's here's the same thing forever. All right, so the nickel hunters out there, you guys got to tell me, have you ever completed the album just from coin roll hunting, including the 50 Denver? Inquiring minds. It's a nice lull. Man, some of these are absolutely trashed. Like denticles on coins, so hopefully they bring them back. I don't know that they'll bring that back because I think it's just a lot of extra work on the obverse and reverse dies. Whereas if you were to bring back the denticles, like on a Morgan dollar, I mean, it's just a lot more processing on that. Now, they had a purpose, but they're not, like, our coins aren't precious metals anymore, so they don't really feel like the cost is there. But I will say that with the laser engraving of the dies now that they're doing for a lot of, at least the proof stuff, they could very easily do that. So who knows? Maybe they will. Been a long time since you found your last 50D, huh? Personally, and I know this is going to be unpopular because we have some nickel hunters in the chat, but personally, I would rather get rid of the nickel entirely and just go with a base 10 system. Maybe even, honestly, get rid of the quarter. You would do, dimes and maybe 20-cent pieces or something like that. So dimes. Matter of fact, you could probably just get rid of the quarter entirely. So dimes, half dollars, dollars, 2.5s, and 5s, I would say at least. But change the composition so you're not just stacking extra weight, because a $5 coin in copper nickel would be stupid heavy unless you run into the old Susan B. Anthony, where it's the same size as a quarter and it's supposedly 4 times the value, which made no sense to anybody, and it completely doomed the coin. I never understood why they thought that was going to fly. But there's both Susan B. Anthony collectors can tell me why eventually. As soon as they find another one. Which I found it very interesting. Watched a video, and I believe it was Cabbage Coins video. I don't know if you guys watch him or not, but he does excellent content. A little higher end numismatic dealer, but he does a Cabbage Coins podcast, and he had Tony Littlejohn on. And Tony Littlejohn is the Standing Liberty quarter collector. I mean, he collects the highest of the high end. He owns probably more 68. He owns, I think, a super majority of the MS 68s or 68 pluses throughout the entire series. And he collects all those. But he also was saying he was collecting high-end Susan B. Anthony registry sets. So you go from one of the most beloved coin designs of all time to probably the least loved coin design of all time, and it's the same guy collecting the top end of both of them. I thought that was kind of interesting, because most people want nothing to do with the Susan B. Anthony's. But once again, appreciate everybody stopping in. Boy, that's a rough crossing the Delaware. Oops, wrong stack. You guys ever? Oh, man. Oh well. Get the ones I can reach. All right, let me pick those up off the floor after I threw half of them. Didn't lose as many as I thought I did, but still threw quite a few across the table on accident. Be sure to check those papers real good before I burn them. Alright. Got 10 rolls left after this one of box number 1, and then we'll hop into one of the tall boxes and see what we can find in there. Hopefully there's something hiding out in these last 10 so that we don't get our first skunk of the privy hunt. Welcome in, everybody. I know you guys are probably getting tired of these live quarter hunts, but I got a lot to go through before I can jump back into doing more of a random mix. I do, like I said, I do have the PCGS unboxing coming up. But for now, this is what you got. Lot of scope in that roll. Well, gotta hunt them all, I guess, but not looking real good right now. It's nice enough to scope. Is that a satin finish? I think it is. Well, there's our first find of the hunt. A 2009 Denver satin finish. So this came out of a mint set. You see the fields are just very satiny like that. So not quite skunked. Not a great find by any stretch, but we're not skunked either, so I'll take it. You don't find those very often anymore. No. Well, haven't found a ton, but it's made the hunt time go by quicker. I think I'm gonna keep that one just because it's a bit lower mintage. Oh, what the heck. Oops. Wrong place. Alright guys, so I got a question for you. What are some of the smaller channels that people need to be looking out for? Keep in mind this is going to be recorded, so not the big stuff like Rob or Silver Seeker, Blue Ridge, but what are the small channels people need to look out for? So, Mo, I've seen some of your stuff, and certainly worth a subscribe. So, you guys got any good recommendations for small channels? Last 5 rolls of the box. Can we find something more than just the satin finish? Nice looking 65 actually, which you don't get to say very often. Four left. I end up stabbing myself on one of these lives. I'll have to snip that out and make it into a short. The dark side of coin roll hunting. $66. Put that one on there too. last three. Let's go ahead and pull those other two out here where you can see them. So these are it for box number one. So let's see what we can find, if anything. Nice Denver. Thank you everybody for stopping in and hanging out and seeing what we find this morning. I appreciate that. I am going to try to do another box here after this one. So haven't found a lot yet, but hopefully there's something hiding in the second box, and it will be a tall box as opposed to this one with the kind with the holes in the bottom. The second box is going to be a tall box, so maybe we get a little bit more luck going on here. Had some pretty decent hunts so far. All right, 2 rolls left. You know, I've done that before, Mo, and I used to do that, but after a while, it starts to hurt, like you start to peel up your fingernail. So, especially when they're rolled really tight, like some of these are. But either way, it'll make for an interesting short if I do eventually end up stabbing myself. All right. Last roll. And then I'll move all this stuff out of the way, and we will start on box number 2. Like I said, I'm not going to scope everything right now. I'll just wait and do that afterwards. And if I find anything major that I missed, I will let you guys know on the next hunt. But most of the stuff I'm finding is pretty minor anyway. And if it's not, well, decent bicentennial. Let's pull that one out for just because it is a 50-year-old coin after all, with luster. So. And last little handful. All right, that's it. That is the find for the box. A 2009 Denver Satin Strike, Washington, D.C., District of Columbia Territory Quarter. So, all right, let me get this cleaned up real quick. Pull some of these papers out of the way. Double check them later and make sure that there's no quarters lost in the paper after I accidentally flung them. All right. And let's see, let's move all this stuff back here. Eric, good morning, sir. How you doing? Your mom have any luck on the hunt recently? All right. Box number 2. It's all style. So, go ahead and pull out 5 rolls at a time. I don't think any of these in this box were the Declaration of Independence enders. So let's just go ahead and jump into it and get started on box number 2. I'll remember where the camera is in a second. Thank you for the 10 of you who are in here currently. Only mixed boxes here and there. Mayflower quarters and 1 dime. Well, you're doing better on the dime front than I am, because I still have yet to see a 26 dime in circulation. I have seen 1 in hand, and I had to buy it off of eBay. So there's that, right? Well, I take that back. I have the mint sets, but I don't necessarily know if they even count. And I'm not counting them as circulation either. But yeah, no dimes in my area. And at this point, I think I've found more of the Declaration of Independence design than I have the Mayflower Compact, and I've still never found a Revolutionary War design. So weird distribution. But, all right. Yeah, I ordered another 2,000 for next week as well. Not quite the 10,000 from the first week that me and my dad both kind of went in on, but we shall see. I figure eventually we have to deplete the supply of circulated boxes, and they'll have to start sending us some new stuff. Put that right there. Yeah, I only have really one super reliable bank that will order me boxes, and they'll order whatever I want. But I think part of that has to do with the fact that that's who I have my mortgage through, and they know they're making money off of me hand over fist, so they're not real worried about the cost of the coinage there. They're worried about keeping me happy and me not refinancing somewhere else and then losing out on that money. So, you know, it's all part of the game, I guess. They've got to understand they're making something, and then they'll be pretty accommodating. It's a nice Utah. Oh, see, I've never done that before. Now, when my wife worked retail there for a while, she would call me if they had something like come in. She called me one time and somebody paid in a bunch of half dollars. She said, "Hey, do you want it?" So like, sure, I'll be down there in a little bit. And I got there and there's like 40% mixed into it, and one of them was a bicentennial 40. And somebody's just paying for groceries with them. So stole grandma or grandpa's collection and had to go down there and get them a soft drink or something. It's like you have no idea what you have here. So I try to be on good terms with pretty much all my banks now. I had a Wells Fargo that I've had my I've had the account with the longest out of any bank, and there for a while they had a crowd that worked there. They wanted to do absolutely nothing. Like I would ask them something, and they just wanted nothing to do with anything. So for a long time, they became my dump bank. I just said, "Fine, you're not going to give me anything. I'm going to give you all of the stuff you don't want." And that crowd moved on, and then I'm on good terms with them now. But like, if you take the weird stuff, so if you take the dollar coins or the halves or the $2 bills, the stuff they don't want to have to count every day, I find they're a lot more accommodating because you're helping them out because they don't have to hold on to stuff that most people don't want, and you get to look through it. And sometimes you can find stuff. All right. Come on, Rose. Don't fail me now. So I have basically one designated dump bank now, and that is my local credit union because they have a free coin sorter. So I just dump the stuff in there and then cash it out and don't have to pay the fee that I would somewhere else. Um, but they don't really order coin because most people bring it into them anyway. So it's not like I could pick stuff up from there. Um, but that's usually the teller who holds stuff for me anyway. So they're always on the lookout for me. And I've only broken their coin sorter a handful of times now. But, uh, yep, the free coin star is a lifesaver, man. An absolute must. If I had to roll all of these back up, I would be so outdone. Oh, anybody find anything really good recently? I know Mo said he found a couple proofs, nickels last night, so congratulations on those. Oh, you have to re-roll. It's rough, man. But at least they let you hunt, so. Yeah, and I don't know who all's in here, but if you have not, please go subscribe to Mo Hunt Silver. You will not be disappointed. Great guy, great content. Go check him out. And if you have subscribed, tell everybody because, you know, it's got good stuff. Go check him out. Let's see, what'd you say, Eric? I use the coin machines. Yep. Yeah, see, I've got two within 30 minutes, basically. And I try to alternate between them so I don't overload their machines. But here recently, it's just been whichever one I can get to closer before they close. Because I've been dumping stuff after work, too. And they've been working on the roads around here. So, nice 65. I may have to pause this and go get another bucket to put the coins in. $68 Denver. I don't think that's going to be. I wish someone could explain it to me, Eric. Why they wait until tourist season to do all of the road work around here and knock all the lanes down to like single lane traffic in one direction and just make it an absolute miserable nightmare. But they just wait, and like 9 months out of the year, they'll do almost nothing. They got to look like they're doing something for all the crowd coming down from Raleigh. I don't know. I don't work for the DMV, or DOT, I should say, so. Whatever. Wow. Look at that 98. Unfortunately, got a little scratch out here in the left field right there. Right there we go. Well, sure thing, man. Yeah, let me know. You said springtime? Yeah. Hopefully you don't come during the pollinating, but, you know, if you do, hit me up. Of course, the pollen's probably not too bad down around Emerald Isle, but you get inland a little bit and it becomes pretty rough. Sinkholes. Okay, now, see, I can understand filling in sinkholes whenever they pop up. Like, it doesn't matter if there's, you know, a holiday or something coming up for a sinkhole. That's important, right? Like, they've had to replace the culverts out my way for sinkholes. But this is just basic maintenance and road work that they've known about for years. And it's been scheduled, and they just wait until everybody's down. And it makes no sense. Oy. Well, I will be taking a break after this box, and I may be on later this evening if you guys want to come hang out again. But I may not as well, so I don't know yet. But I do appreciate you being here now. Certainly helps with the watch time, and that's really the big thing I'm lacking to get monetized on the channel. I would just like for the channel itself to be self-sustaining, because it takes quite a bit to get there on a YouTube channel. At least for me it does, because I can't put the effort into it that some guys can. And I don't have the budget for it either. So if the channel could self-sustain, that would be fantastic. Do the rest of this row, and then I'm gonna have to get another jug to dump my discards in. So once again, thank you guys for watching. It does help tremendously. Even if you got it on the background, it helps with the watch time, and hopefully I'm not too boring for you. Wow, nice Fort McHenry. Let's see, put that one there. Thank you, Mo. I do enjoy getting to kind of chat with you guys and hang out and see what you're up to. Yep. Show up and have the clouds of yellow falling from the trees, the pine trees. Good times, good times. Yep. I think it's more optics than anything. Nice 77 album checker. They just want to look busy, look like they're doing something, because they know the important people, the state house and all, are going to be down on vacation. Yes, please do. Everybody go check out and subscribe to Mo Hunt Silver. You will not be disappointed. So please do that. Go subscribe. Go bookmark his stuff. Watch him as soon as we're off here. Or watch him now and come back later. But yeah, check out Mo, please. I have not found anything good other than I found a Satin Strike 2009 Denver District of Columbia. and then just a few nicer coins. So I did find a really nice BU 98 Denver, but other than that, not really. So we are still looking. We're 15 rolls in the box number 2 here, and we're due. We'll find something soon. So this first was the 5th box that we've hunted looking for the privies, and it was the first one where we haven't found at least kind of something major. So West Point or silver or something like that. But we're due to find something, so maybe it's in this box. We won't know until we find it, right? Nice Montana. And again, I'm not going to be scoping anything until after the hunt, and that is, it's always bittersweet to think about stuff like that, isn't it? All the silver we might have missed back then because we just didn't know any better. Nice 2010 as well. Not a bad 81 either. But yeah, the one and only. I never really got into varieties until probably 5 years ago or so. Hey, Gringo, what's up? But I used to go through all of my dad's change, and he would help me sort it, or I would help him sort all of it. And looking back at it now, I'm like, man, how many like really, really cool things did I have and just let go because I didn't know any better. So that one kind of stings a little bit, but you never know what you don't know. Gringo, I have found a Satin Strike in box number 1, so a 2009 DC Satin Strike, and the next best would probably be this nice BU 98 Denver out of a mint set that was in a roll, and then a few checkers, but nothing crazy so far this morning. But we're in box number 2. First one was a flat box with the holes in the bottom, and then this one is a tall box, so should be rolled different. We'll see. So, and if you guys are not subscribed to Gringo as well, please do that. So go check him out. He just passed 1,000 subs, and he posted a really cool video yesterday that I'm super jealous about. Yep, it is better than finding absolutely nothing. We missed being skunked by the skin of our teeth. I think we were on like roll 45 or something when I found the Satin Strike. But yeah, make sure you check out Gringo's video from yesterday. I'm super jealous on that one. Six. All right. Sorry, I was not paying attention to the chat just then, so my bad if I missed something. Sure. Okay, yep. Got 3 more, and then I got to pause and get a different bucket. That would be cool. Now, the was it a nice Type 1 or a Type 2 SLQ? Because the gold ones are 2016 and 2026 are both Type 1, right? Yeah, I don't think anybody looks at the SLQ and thinks there's, you know, that's not one of the prettiest, if not the prettiest quarter we've ever had. Ooh, that's right. You did find the doubled ear, but the high D, that's awesome, man. Those are spendy, big time nickel. I don't know. 17's not bad, but 17 should be like a Type 1B. Everybody calls them Type 1, but there's some pretty distinct changes between the 16 and 17. All right. Well, it might not be in good shape, but you know, a high D is still a very hard to find coin. I still think there's no mint state examples of that coin, right? Or have they actually found some mint state ones now? Because for a long time there was a bounty on one, and I don't know that anybody ever claimed it. Yes, please do, Eric. Please do. So, guys, make sure you're subscribed to EMR. That way, when he makes content this fall, you will all be signed up for it, right? So we'll see it when it posts. No pressure, Eric. Yeah, man, I get it. Life happens. Like, this is really hard to do when it's not your like actual day job, because you know this is a hobby for most of us. I know it is for me, and you know it's a lot of work. Like it really is. It is a lot of work to do this. But I enjoy it. I enjoy hanging out with you guys, and I figure I'm probably going to hunt most of these anyway. So might as well share it with you guys. Share what we find. All right, let me go grab another bucket. All right. Question of the day: what do you guys use for discard buckets? Because Cheese balls, man. Cheese ball buckets are like my go-to. Huh. Yeah, I could see how that would put a hamper on things. It's like, why is it not showing the net and going from there? Well, sorry. Math is hard. Math is really hard when people don't want to math, right? I'm going to make you prove something. Prove your own innocence, right? I'm so glad I don't have to worry about what the English say. Pretty much everything the English say sounds wrong, which is hilarious because it's their language and it still sounds stupid, right? It would always aggravate me when we were speaking with some of our British counterparts, engineers, when they would say aluminium. And I was just like, why are you saying it wrong? Like you guys picked how it's spelled. You could have spelled it however you wanted, and you still say it wrong. Oh, I bet, man. You that high up in elevation, Eric? That's that is a different experience. Being up in the sky when the clouds are unhappy. Yep. Wolf Metal Stacking, thank you for stopping in. close to the halfway point of box number 2 here. So nothing jumping out so far. 48.50, man. Well, you know where we live, so down here, so like the 48 feet would be considered elevation here. 50 feet, somebody's on top of a sand dune, right? I think my house is around where my slab is like 13 or 14 feet above flood zone, or so. Yep, I'm right there with you, Gringo. Roll number 25 for those keeping count at home for box number 2. What do I do for a living, Gringo, or are you talking to somebody else? Because if you're asking me, so that's mostly hobby. I do my own work, but I'm a mechanical engineer, so helps to have a little bit of cred with shop guys when you actually do your own work and you work on your own stuff, right? Like you get the book smart engineers who don't ever do anything, and they may be fine engineers, but I'm always been a fan of the guys who actually work on their own stuff and they go down to the shop and they know what's going on, and they'll touch parts and they'll talk to people, and design engineers are great, but experience is an amazing teacher. Right now, let me let the dog out after this roll, but right now I'm over a group of engineers who were kind of transitioning into the model-based definition world. So, all right, let me step away real quick, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, like I said, most of my stuff is kind of hobby-ish. My parents have a small, I guess you call it a homestead, really. got a bunch of animals, so I'm constantly working over there and tearing up my hands, but I work on my vehicles. So honestly, a smarter man with more patience would probably have less scars than I do, but you know, it's okay. I don't need to be a hand model, right? At least you guys didn't come here for a hand model, because if you did, you were in the wrong spot. Tech hand me a hood, didn't mention that here. Yeah. I find more often than not, the people who get hurt are using somebody else's equipment that they're borrowing or something like that, right? Because people get used to their stuff not being perfect and not working, and that's when you start having problems because everybody else doesn't know that, but you forget that they don't know that. Charlie, you want to go out, bud? All right. Let Charlie out the door as well after this roll. Come on, Charlie. Yeah, definitely appreciate it when people doing the production planning actually know a little something about it. That's it's always a problem, right? You get somebody who's never worked in production and suddenly they're running it. It's like, oh, this is terrible. Yeah. Same, Gringo. I enjoy it. I like it. I'm not good at it because I don't do it enough to really have that skill set, and maintain the skill set, I guess would be the best way to do it. Yep. But don't worry, everybody thinks AI is going to take every job and nobody's going to have to do anything, and they're just going to sit back and nothing is ever going to need to be done again. So good luck with that when AI is pumping out your septic tank or, you know, welding. Well, AI probably could do a decent job of production welding, but like repair welding, not going to happen. I don't know about that, Gringo. I think I've seen more of an emphasis on the trades, probably since about 2020. And I say that because I think people, at least my generation, so the millennials, realized we all got scammed, right? A lot of people went to college and got useless degrees, and they could never hope to get out from underwater of them. And there's no benefit to them for the most part. They're just indoctrination. Unless you get, you know, an actual bachelor's of science or something that you can apply. And a lot of people feel kind of, slighted by that. And a lot of the younger generations, I think like the Gen Zs and all, they're like, yep, we're not doing that because that looks stupid. So they learn from many of our mistakes. That and when COVID shut everybody down and they were like, oh, here's the essential workers. I was like, cool, that means everybody else does nothing of value. So why are we even paying them? I don't know, man. I really don't. I have, I guess, more optimistic faith in them than I guess a lot of people do. Not all, but some. But then again, it's never been all, right? So. I personally think a lot of employers do a really terrible job at even creating or advertising entry level positions. Like they'll advertise an entry level position and they'll want 3 years of experience. Well, that's just not realistic. But like, where are your apprenticeship programs? Like, where is all that? Why aren't you taking these guys that are in, a skills program with a community college and paying them to go to school so you get a qualified, trained artisan when they're done, right? Like, where is that? It just doesn't seem like most companies can look far enough down the road to put that investment in, or are willing to put the investment in. But I don't know. I'm ranting now, so I'm sorry, guys. But we'll see. People used to stay with a company for their entire career and retire, and that was the end of it. And now, the chances of you getting hired on one place and staying there until you can retire is almost zero. Yep. I think they really started waking up and seeing there's more to life than going to college and paying on a degree I'll never be able to pay off. So, like, my son's only 9, and when I was young, like, the thought of not going to college was something like they beat it in everybody. But my dad taught auto mechanics, so he had several of his students who would go to trade schools, and they always did really well for themselves. So I guess it was always more of an option to me than it was to a lot of people. But like, the number of my peers who got absolutely useless degrees, debt, and just spent years that they could have been saving up, for retirement in school is just astronomical. Like, no one ever explained to them why they should be there or why they shouldn't be there. It's just like, yep, this is the thing. You do this, and you'll be good, and the degree doesn't matter. And yeah, okay, sure. But most of my best young engineers are ones we basically are hiring while they're still in school, and they go to school full time, and we pay them and when they're paid for their tuition and they come over and work at least part-time throughout the year. And then in the summer, they're over full-time with us and they're learning the job before they ever get the degree. And when you have like a specialty skill set, that's huge, man. Like just being able to have that 2 years of experience up on your peers, that's just irreplaceable. Yeah, I don't know where all this goes, but I just the corporate mindset isn't where it should be, and it doesn't value the things that it should, in my opinion. Um, like we can blame all of the youth for not wanting to work as hard as we did or whatever, but there's no loyalty on the corporate side either. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. You know, businesses are so focused on numbers that the people become, pawns at that point. And it didn't used to be like that. Like you used to know the people who worked for you and worked with you, and they're real people with real lives. So I don't know. I'm not going to solve it by ranting on YouTube. I AI is a tool, and like every tool, it can be used correctly or incorrectly. And a lot of people, there we go, there's a find. We have an S-minted NIFC, and this is a 2020 Weir Farm. So there's a find for this box. And roll, what's that, 34? So, like, I don't know if you guys saw the story of Ford where they fired a bunch of the engineers, their experienced quality engineers, and they just replaced them all with AI, and then they had to go back and rehire them because the AI had done such a terrible job that all their like recall data was just awful. And what they ended up doing is like you said, it's only as good as what they train it for. But what a lot of people seem to forget is you're training AI to give you an answer. Whether it is the correct answer or not, it gets rewarded for giving you the answer. And then we got a second find. Got a West Point, San Antonio mission. So now we're getting somewhere. So 2 finds in the last 2 rolls. But like people put so much faith into AI when the way most AIs are written, especially like Gemini, is there's more reward for the AI to give you a hallucination over an incorrect or just a non-answer. So it will give you something if you ask it. It just may not be worth anything. I have no idea where we are in 5 to 10 years, Gringo. Absolutely none. But I do think, like anything else, I think people are going to just overly accept something and then they're going to get burned. And then people are going to start to become more cautious about it. I don't know why we're like that, but we seem to just take the bait, hook, line, and sinker first, and then get burned, and then, oh, yeah, we need to be cautious about this. Wrong pile. All right. It's quite the interesting conversation for a coin roll hunt. So, I appreciate that though. This has made the time go by a little bit faster. Yep. Oh. Yeah, hey, I made this thing by typing a prompt and I don't know how it works. It's not really a good look. So. I think my favorite coding hack I got taught recently was when you go into, one of the guys was set up the programs when you would go into this certain sub program that it would just, you would name it like random profanities, right? So it would tell you which sub program the problem was, and it would just be yelling at you and like, oh yeah, let me go down to this section. And it was just entertaining to see like, oh nope, this one closed or this one didn't. Instead of naming it some like generic name, it was like, nope, the thing's yelling at you in profanities to tell you where your problem is, which I found absolutely hilarious. So I run into that a lot with our CNC machinists, right? They are button pushers at this point. But I am over the CNC programmers and the engineers, and those guys have to understand how all that works. Hey, look at that. Random Declaration of Independence, not July the 4th, in the roll. But like my guys have to understand how it works. They have to know the process. They're the ones developing it. And the guys down on the shop floor at this point have just been removed from the decision-making process to the point where they're practically button pushers, which makes it super hard to recruit new guys that do have the skill set because, how do they learn that? Yeah, break operators. Excuse me. Appreciate you guys stopping in and listening to the rants and dissertations. And I don't think we're all going to fix AI this morning, but we can at least complain about it in public forum, right? There's another NIFC. Nice. I think. Yep. San Francisco minted. Teddy Roosevelt. Nice. So 2 NIFCs right here. And West Point. Up here on this top row. The tall boxes seem to be treating us a little bit better. Wow. That's that's pretty rough, Gringo. Let's call in the expert scissor sharpeners because nobody else has the skill set anymore. And as ridiculous as that sounds, it happens everywhere with all kinds of skill sets. And it's so disappointing. But like I was saying with the Ford thing, they replaced all the people with AI, and then their numbers were terrible, and then they had to hire back all the experienced engineers. So I would be leveraging the mess out of that one. Like, oh yeah, I'm getting a big time pay raise to come back for you guys. So you thought you were gonna replace me with AI. Nice. Bicentennial. Sorry, I'll get back on camera here. All right. Oh, that's twice. Twice this morning. All right. See what we got, and then I'll let the dog back in. Nice Louisiana. All right. Be right back, guys. All right, last 10 rolls. Oh, as I knock over one of my stacks from the first box. Let me do this. Let me take this. Get it so we can see what's going on up here. See if we get anywhere now. Had that short little spurt where we had the NIFCs and then the West Point. Gross. All right. I did find a W. Yeah, being loyal to a fault can be problematic, but you know, it's not. I mean, that's still not a bad thing. I just think you got to just pick who you're being loyal to, right? Like the mega corps are just not like they've proven time and again. They're just looking at numbers. because there's too much bureaucracy. You're so far down the chain that it's just not worth it. What year is that? It's 86. But no, the West Point's actually pretty decent, and so are the NIFCs, but they should be because they're relatively new. We are getting there, guys, and I do appreciate you hanging out with me to see this one through to the end, and I'll show you the finds at the end here. One too high. Oh yeah, yeah. You don't get to screw me over twice. Vincent, how are you doing, sir? I was going to say good morning, but it's technically afternoon now, so good afternoon. Hunting almost 2.5 hours now. So this is the second box. We're down to the last row in it, and I will show the finds from the first, or from these two boxes in just a minute. So right hand window of, I'm guessing, the Harper's Ferry. Silverman, what's going on? Today's short, just this morning, was the right hand windows, and I did not check it. I meant to. I posted it, and I don't know that I verified that it wasn't one we had already used, so I'll have to do that after this, because if it was a reuse, then my bad. Let me fix that. Yeah, that's because I posted it late this morning because my phone died as it was uploading last night. I thought it was plugged in, but I had accidentally pulled it out of the charger end. So my phone didn't charge and it died before I got it uploaded. So my bad, it posted a little bit late. But it should be the latest one, and it is on the playlist. You know, sometimes I wonder what I sound like talking in the third person in my coin room there, to my wife, like what she hears when I'm talking about this kind of stuff. that a clash? Almost looks like a clash. I'm gonna hold that one off to the side. Alright. Getting down to the short rows. Got 5 rolls left after this one. And then I will hop off and possibly be on later tonight, but maybe not. I will try to put a community post up if I'm going to be. I was getting a call. Yep. That's what happens when you use your phone, man. So, I'll call him back in a minute. Oh, thank you, Jeff. We have found some cool things. We've got 4 rolls left here in this second box, and then I will show you the finds from these 2 boxes that we've hunted today. Not a ton, but not a bad hunt either. But thank you for giving. And what happened there? Anyway, thank you for being here. It was very weird. My phone just popped up saying I was live. I thought I knew I was live. So, do these last 4, and then we'll go over it, and then I will hop off here because it has been quite the long stream. I got 66. Look, man, I got to be honest, it's hard to stream when you don't have somebody else helping you. Like, I don't think people realize just how much of a help Charlani is to Rob during his streams. Because it is very hard to read the chat and hunt and, you know, respond to people, and it's a lot, man. And it's always the people who don't stream or have never streamed, and they get mad at somebody for missing their comment, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, you don't, there's no need for that. Well, I clearly don't know what to do either, but I'm doing this mostly just because I got the boxes, I need to make the content, I need to get the watch hours out of it, and I get to hang out with you guys. And I'm lazy and I don't want to edit them because I got too many boxes. So I'm hunting through all this, and we're just going to do it live and wing it, and it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Some of these are rough. Exactly. So on a regular quarter hunt, I spend more time editing the video than it takes me to hunt the box because of how many minor varieties I pull out, and having to look them up and include them in there. It just takes forever to do it that way. So I've gotten to the point where I just don't do that anymore. I actually have enjoyed the live streams, and then I take the stuff that I scope afterwards and I'll look it up after the fact and just attribute them all right then. And if they're new, then they go into my short series. So I get extra content. I've enjoyed the conversation as well. I didn't know we were going down the AI rabbit hole, but I like it. It was fun. All right. Sorry, I'm off camera again. Just getting in a hurry. So. Denver, I can look for a DDR on that. All right, last roll. Roll number 50 of box 2. I think technically 99 of the hunt because the first one, a roll had fallen out and I'd already hunted it. But let's see what we got. I think that is the wife and kid just getting home. So let me do this. All right, and that is it. So these are the finds for the hunts. We had the Satin Strike 2009 District of Columbia out of Denver, the NIFC Weir Farm, the NIFC Teddy Roosevelt, and the West Point San Antonio Missions. So again, I appreciate you guys stopping in. I will try to do this again soon. I hunt quarters a lot, Jeff. And I will probably be doing another one of these very soon, but I appreciate you guys stopping in. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. So y'all have a good one. Get down, Blue.